Hi everyone, you're joining me at Lake Ellyn in Glen Ellyn, Illinois. Now, Lake Ellyn is monitored and cared for by the Park District of Glen Ellyn, and they've been doing a fantastic job. If you look around me, you can see a giant liquid that is the lake. It's full of water. Now, around the lake are a bunch of solids that we're going to talk about today because it has to deal with the properties of those materials that they're made out of and trying to figure out what materials each item is made out of. So follow along. To talk about properties, we need to use the words and know what the words mean. So when we say properties, properties are just a describing word that talk about and describe something, like an adjective. So when we talk about that tree behind me, the property could be, it is tall, and that describes the tree. It's also an adjective. If I use it in a sentence, I could say, the tall tree gives me lots of shade. Now, when I say material too, so like the bench I'm sitting on is made out of materials. That means what something is made out of. What is the original material that was used to build it? So wood could be a material, metal could be a material, plastic could be a material. If you look at Glenbard West behind me, you can see that it's kind of a reddish material, and that might look familiar from our Three Little Pigs story a while back. Now, they use brick to build around the outside of almost the entire building. Why would they have used brick? What properties do those have? So, brick was hard, it was strong, it was heavy, all make it good to be building a high school out of, where there's going to be a lot of people that have to stay safe. So all of those properties or describers describe why brick is a good material for a high school. Here at the park at Lake Ellyn, you can see the playground behind me. Now, that playground is made out of a couple different materials, and if you see, the green parts are actually a hard plastic. So I give you that property, which is hard. And then there's also pieces that have metal and some pieces that are covered in a very hard rubber. And so a bunch of materials are used, and some of those are for safety reasons, and some of those are for other reasons that I don't even know, but they have to go into the design of playgrounds to make them as safe as possible for the people that use them. What properties do you think help those materials be safe for the playground? Use I think, because. Behind me, you see the Glen Ellyn Veterans Memorial at Lake Ellyn. Now, these memorials are made out of rock, a type of rock, and there's reasons why we use rock over other materials. Now, if we use metals, sometimes metals can rust, and sometimes if we use wood, wood can rot away, and rock typically lasts a long time. What properties do you think help rock last a long time? So do some tests. Maybe you want to knock on it, feel the texture, try some different things, and then use a prediction. I think, because. Why do you think rock is a good material for a veterans memorial like they did here at Lake Ellyn? Lake Ellyn also has a boat ramp, so that means there has to be boats at some point. Now, when we're thinking about boats, we want to know, why would some materials work better for boats? What properties do those materials have to have? One of those properties could be absorbency. That means how much you soak up water. Do we want a material that's going to soak up water and get more water in it? Not unless you want to sink. So we want to think about what materials are good in the water, what are hard. We don't want something flexible that's going to bend. That means it would flex in the water as the water moves. Okay, so think about, what could you make a boat out of? Do an experiment. It's your turn. At home, try to make a boat or test materials by maybe while you're in the bathtub or in the kitchen sink, filling it up with some water, and then putting some materials inside of that to see what floats, what soaks up water. Make sure you get parent approval before you do that experiment.